living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break your keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through, enough to go insane. Living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends? We never met, even if you pretend. Am I in your debt? I don't owe you nothing. Don't say something you'll regret. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Hate, rage, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it. I'm telling you, don't waste it. Life's telling you, don't waste it on me. What you think about when you're born into a fire. endless lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, hate is paid, the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. Tonight we're back with the National Sim Group Cup Series. This is Throwback Night at Darlington, and we have got a good one for you. We've got a lot of old race paint schemes, some from the Cup Series, some from personal paint schemes, and we're going to go through as many as we can tonight. Right now, Zachary Taylor, your fastest in practice. Currently his time at 28.95. Only two drivers have broke that 28 bracket. Now Jason Blaney will take that top spot from him at a 28.95. Garrett Fox currently third quick on the board. As we get ready to head to qualifying, Landon Lacey eighth quick. And currently we've got 33 drivers in the session, so going to be a full field here tonight. We'll be running 147 laps, two stages. This will be lap 45, lap 98. Who's going to be the first on the track? Dalton Fredericks out there. Old Tony Stewart throwback car. Joe Torres and the old Dale Jr. Xfinity scheme. As he gets up to speed, Dakota Bailey and an early Dale Earnhardt scheme. Andrew Moore, the number 77. All these drivers getting up to speed. Talk about a famous Darlington paint scheme, the number 32 Tide Ride, Ricky Craven. With the first car across the line, Jason Blaney. Runs a heater there. Moore Jr. up to second on the board right now. Fastest lap of 29.10, so slightly off the practice pace, but pretty quick. Andrew Mraz will come out second, and there's Zachary Taylor. He breaks into that 28-second bracket. Landon Williams, fifth quick. Dalton Fredericks will come home sixth. Actually, Quentin Clark will knock him out of that spot. The old Martin Martin scheme. Simon Grills, the number 8, qualifies 8th right now. Chris Stange in the 72. Gary Wells 11th. Jim Thorndike 12th. Last week's winner, Matthias. Sideways out of 4. And he'll pick up to 5th quick. Roger Matias. Marco Evans in the 76. Cole Trickle out there. Braden Laster in the 13. Still on his first lap. Kyle Zimmer in the 25. Running a Tim Richmond scheme. Tries not to hit that outside wall. And he'll move up to 6th quick with that lap. Lacey a little sideways out of the corner. On his first lap, will move up to 15th quick. In iRacing, if you barely touch that outside wall, it will disallow your laps. These guys having to be extra careful to not come out of the corner and hit that outside wall just a little bit. Lacey now moves up to the 4th position. Jordan Polly in the number 7, 11th fast. Michael Spengler 26th on lap 1. As time expires, and he'll end up 26th. Tonight we'll have a 5-minute warm-up. Seagulls out here running. Scott Ram on the 57, Joe Torres. And they've set this warm-up time to make sure they have enough time to set their race setup instead of their qualifying setup. They had some issues last week on some drivers not getting their qualifying setup in, or not getting their race setup in from qualifying, and it causes some issues. Jason Blaney looking very fast today. Going to qualify up front. Will he stay there? John Tiller with a good-looking throwback to Bill Elliott. Tim Thorndike in that 59. Andrew Mraz getting up to speed for his warm-up. Bright yellow wheels on this number 6 tonight. He'll definitely stand out in the crowd. Here's Simon Grills, number 8. Oh, as he gets sideways. And around he goes, a hard hit to the outside wall. Nitro Circus car for Brandon Stower. Nathan Lyon and what looks like a Blaney scheme. Lacey already up to second quick. Dalton Fredericks to first. Oh, as we see the Ford take a hard hit to the inside wall, shoots it straight down. That left front toe link broken. Zachary Taylor, very fast in practice. In this warm-up, only 14th quick though. The nose right to the bumper of Lacey's and get ready to start this race. And we're gonna go through your starting lineup. Taylor holding it out wide there. Starting from the pole position is the number 16 of Zachary Taylor. On the outside pole, Jason Blaney in the number 22. Starting in third position is Andrew Mraz, the number 4. Landon Lacey will start in fourth spot in the number 52. Andrew Moore Jr. will start fifth, the number 77. Roger Rios Matias in sixth spot. Kyle Zimmer will roll off from the 7th position. Landon Williams will start in 8th position. Starting at 9th is Quentin Clark in the number 94. And rounding out your top 10 is Dalton Fredericks in the number 10. Starting at 11th is Jordan Polly in the number 7. Simon Grill will start 12th in the number 8. Joe Torres in the number 3 will start 13th. Chris Stange in 72 will start 14th position. Gary Wells will start 15th. As we take a look at the rest of the grid. Starting in the 16th position, Jim Thorndike. 17th, Garrett Fox. 18th is John Tiller. 19th, Scott Stockel. 20th is Mike Campeggio. 21st is Scott Ramler. 22nd, Dakota Bailey. 23rd, Brandon Stower. 24th is Cody Bullock. 25th is Marco Evans. 26th, Michael Spingler. 27th is Brayton Laster. 28th, Hunter Brown. 29th is Andrew Rousseau. 30th will be Scott Wise. 31st will be Jacob May. And rounding out the field is Nathan Lyon. Nathan Lyon, excuse me, will be starting from the 34th spot. Green flag, we're underway. The National Sim Group Throwback Night in Darlington. Already single file down the backstretch. Can the 16 of Taylor get a lead and pull away? It looks like he's already got about 7 car lengths. by side, the battle for second. Jason Blaney on the outside. Mraz on the bottom. Blaney will take charge of that second spot. As now Landon Lacey on the attack on the bottom of Mraz. He'll have to pull back up in the line. Can't quite get there. Not enough momentum. That time a big run out of turn two. Lacey with the shorter line down to the bottom. Lacey will take the third position away from Andrew Mraz. Thorndike already with some issues. Left front damage, must come sideways off the corner. Roger Matias now up to the fifth position as he and Andrew Moore Jr. battle for a second. And Dalton Fredrickson by Andrew Moore as well. Fredericks with the throwback to Tony Stewart back in his Joe Gibbs days. Hold the one sideways off the corner. He loses momentum and Fredericks will move to the inside. The battle for the top five is on. Fredericks gets a good run around the bottom, and Matias is going to have a run off the exit. Crossover. That higher line around the outside. Momentum off the corner. And Matias will drop back to seventh as Landon Williams will now move into the sixth spot. Moore Jr. continues to slip back as Quentin Clark's now on the inside. Moore Jr. now back to 10th as Simon Grills will go on the attack on the inside. Kyle Zimmer gets by on the 25. And Simon Grills throwing back to Lamaze. Pretty good rendition. Supporting the Ford name as he moves all the way up into the 10th position. Continuing to lead, Zachary Taylor, and he's reeling in that 75, who I believe had to start from the pits. Jason Blaney a little ways behind. About 1.3 seconds, the difference between first and second. Through the field, Chris Stange is now in the 12th position. Gary Wells throwing it back to old Michael Waltrip. That's a good looking ride right there, the number 30. Garrett Fox in the 85. It's an interesting throwback. He's throwing back to himself, back to when he was a kid. Always pretty cool when you can throw back to your childhood. A lot of these drivers are throwing back to their childhood, but it's their favorite driver when they were growing up. Garrett, the only one in the field able to throw back to himself. So that's pretty cool. Good job, Garrett. Great rendition of that car. Joe Torres up to 15th. He's sideways out of that corner. He's throwing back to Dale Jr.'s Xfinity car. Back when he won back-to-back championships in 98, 99. And Jason Blaney's had some issues up front as he's dropped all the way back to 7th spot. Another hard hit to the outside wall. That car tight. He is fighting a very tight race car right now. Jason Blaney back to the 8th position. Cannot keep it out of the outside wall. You see the damage. We'll see if we get a better look as we drive down into the corner. Some right front fender damage. Another hard hit to the outside wall from Jason Blaney. And Simon Grills comes up into him. So an issue there for Blaney. Grills trying to get by. As we'll take a look. And Blaney's just trying to keep it off the wall there. He hit it pretty hard on corner exit or corner entry, as you'll see here. Up into it really hard. And just a combination of both. The 22 trying to keep it off the wall. I think the 8 may have gotten a little loose there and came up the track, but our first caution of the night either way. As we head to the pit lane, everyone down the pit lane. Will anyone take a bit of a risk here? Zachary Taylor was getting stretched out over second place. Someone takes a little bit of a risk. Actually, I think he was a lap down, whoever it was that just pulled out. I think that was maybe Nathan Lyon. Could have been, I think it was Lyon, was a lap down. So off the pit lane, Zachary Taylor will continue to lead here. Landon Lacey second. Andrew Mraz in third position. Landon Williams in fourth. Dalton Fredericks in the 5th spot. Kyle Zimmer in 6th. 7th is Quentin Clark. 8th is Roger Matias. 9th is Chris Stange. And 10th, Gary Wells. So still very early in this one. We've not seen who's going to be the best challenger for Zachary Taylor yet. My guess is that man that's in second place, Landon Lacey's up 2 spots to get there. Landon Lacey, the old Levi Garrett throwback. To Jeff Bodine in the number 5. Pretty cool rendition of that one. So good job to Landon Lacey on a great paint there. Good throwback to the golden era of NASCAR. .75 stays out to take the wave around, so he'll get back onto the lead lap. And that's AJ Cruz. Currently scored in the 26th position. Andrew Moore Jr., who had some damage, was dropping through the field. He goes in and gets some damage repaired. He'll drop all the way back to 27th. Still in the pits with a lot of damage is Jason Blaney, as well as Simon Grills, both in the pit lane with pretty significant damage from that incident. I'm not sure that Simon's in his pit box there, but Zachary Taylor will lead us off. He chooses the inside line. Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag, we're underway. 20 laps in of 147. We're going lap 45 for the end of stage number 1. Brad sideways off the corner, holds it. Dalton Fredericks with a big run side by side as the 32 of Landon Williams gets into the outside wall. Oh, Zimmer real tight in the center of the corner. Has to check up big. And Quentin Clark, a little bit of contact. Behind them, Stange and Matthias battle hard for the 8th spot. Garrett Fox now getting involved. Stange on the bottom. Matthias in the 1 on the high side. Chris will clear him. He moves to the outside slide job in the middle of the corner. You really need to be up on the outside and get that big run down out of turn 2. So it's very important for him to get up front of Roger there. You don't want to be side by side coming out of turn 2. It's a treacherous corner as is. Gary Wells in 11th. There's Jake May. He started near the rear of the field. He's up 19 positions. As he gets closer and closer to that top 10, trying to get some stage points here in stage 1. He's got 20 laps to get there. Andrew Mraz has passed Lacey for second. The caution is out. Scott Ramler around. John Tiller also involved in this one. On quarter exit, Ramler in the outside wall, and Tiller with a big hit to the bottom. And Rambler may have taken his car to the hauler. John Tiller still out there. Let's take a look at John Tiller throwing it back tonight to Bill Elliott. As John Tiller will come down the pit lane to get some of that damage repaired. So John throwing it back to Bill Elliott, that number 9, 1987 Coors Light Ford Thunderbird. And Tiller in the Mustang tonight. So Ford representing well tonight in the throwbacks. I'm not exactly sure. It wasn't an indication of what Zach was throwing back to, but I think it's a Mark Martin Winn-Dixie throwback. Pretty sure that's what Zach's throwing back to, is the old Mark Martin Winn-Dixie Xfinity car back in the day that he was so dominant in, number 60. Jacob May is our biggest mover. He's up 19 positions in that number 10. But just a couple spots behind him, Michael Spengler's up 12 spots to the 14th position, throwing it back to Dale Jarrett and his Ford Quality Care car that he won the championship with. Another big mover right now is Nathan Line. In that 38, he's moved up 14 positions to the 20th position. Nathan Line on the move right now as well. Right now, the driver who's lost the most positions is Jason Blaney. He's back out there trying to get a lap back. With all that damage, he lost a few laps, and he's currently scored in the 31st position. Started up third, I believe, second or third. He's lost 29 spots, so still plenty of time for Blaney to bounce back, but he is 10 laps down, so that's going to be tough. Probably going to have to hope for other people to get out of this race. As Rambler did log out, so Blaney will be able to pass him at least. As we are getting double file and getting ready to go green flag, racing again. The 31 takes a free pass there, Scott Wise. Throwing it back to Robbie Gordon in the singular car. Pace car off. We are getting ready to go green again. Zachary Taylor takes off. 15 to go in stage number 1. Taylor getting good restarts, gets out to a good lead. Landon Lacey will get by Andrew Mraz. And we're getting word from the YouTube comments. Chris Stange throwing it back to a Mike Dillon throwback to Detroit Gaskets. They're pretty cool. Appreciate that. Keeping us informed up here. Chris Stange having a good night, up to the 7th position in that number 72. And he's gained 7 spots to be there, so Chris on the move to the front. This entire front group really tight right now. From 2nd all the way back to 9th. That 25 of Kyle Zimmer. He's throwing it back to Tim Richmond tonight. A pretty cool throwback for him. Is that 32 peeking a nose down to the inside, trying to take a look. Car starting to get a little bit strung out here. Oh, the 25 of Zimmer into the outside wall. Landon Williams will get by. And that will put Williams into the top 5. Battles back around to Andrew Rousseau. He's up 10 spots to get to 19th. Did not have a good starting effort, but he's moved his way up. Andrew Moore Jr. right behind him. Had some damage early. Took time to get that repaired and now working his way back through the field up to the top 20. AJ Cruz, who was a lap down at one point and took the free pass to get his lap back, now up to 21st. So we've got some drivers in the back that are moving their way to the front. John Tiller in the 22nd spot, involved in an earlier incident, still got some right front damage. Jordan Polley in the number 7. He's currently running 23rd. Nathan Lyons 24th. And Braden Lasser in the 25th position. Everyone else is at least one lap down. Hunter Brown right now in the pits. Zachary Taylor out front. Trying to drive away from the field behind him. Right up against that outside wall, though. Got to be careful. Will there be any moves inside of the top 5 before the end of the stage? Like Marco Evans went around there. Going back to old Cole Trickle. Marco Evans will bring it into the pit lane. Dalton Fredericks is certainly one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now. Trying to reel this front group in. Lacey in second. Really can't do a whole lot with the leader. He's only got 5 laps to try and reel him in. 4 when they get to the line. Stage has dropped back to the 11th spot, and he's trying to catch Gary Wells for that final point. Garrett Fox running in the 9th spot, trying to run down Roger Matias. And Clark in that number 6, throwing it back to Mark Martin. Went up to the 7th spot. As we're getting down to the end of this stage. Up front, Zachary Taylor will come around. Lacey's reeled him in a little bit, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get there. Oh, as Taylor gets sideways off the corner but never lifts. White flag on the stage. The battle now is for second. Can Andrew Mraz do anything with Landon Lacey? Lacey trying to block that inside. Mraz sends it in deep to the outside lane. Can he get the crossover on the exit? He's going to try. Down to the line. Zach Taylor will win the stage. Lacey will come home second. Andrew Mraz will then come home in the 3rd spot. 4th to be Dalton Fredericks. 5th, Landon Williams. 6th is Kyle Zimmer. 7th is Quentin Clark. 8th, Garrett Fox. 9th is Gary Wells. And 10th will be Chris Stange. Spengler comes home 11th. And Roger Matias had a little incident there. It was running up in 8th position and drops all the way back to 12th by the end of the stage. Now we'll have pit stop Zach Taylor. As everybody heads down the pits, can somebody beat Zachary Taylor out of the pits? Having that front spot is a pretty big deal, but you saw on the long run, Lacey and Mraz were able to reel him in a little bit. So we'll see if we can get a long green flag run to really see if Mraz and Lacey have enough on the long run to reel in Zach Taylor. Cars start to peel out. And Lacey with a long pit stop. He's still in the stall. Issues for Landon Lacey. I'm not sure if he had some damage or a speeding penalty. What happened there? But he will drop all the way back to 18th position. Came in the pits in second. So Landon Lacey going to have his work cut out for him, as he'll have to start near the rear of the field. A few cars looking to take a wave around here. The number 22, Jason Blaney. The 31 of Scott Wise. And the 59 of Thorndike. All taking wave arounds here. Trying to get as many laps back as they can. So Landon Williams up to the 4th spot. That's one of my favorite paint schemes, that Ricky Craven, number 32. And that was involved in such a cool finish here at Darlington back in 2003. Battling side by side, banging doors with Kurt Busch coming across the line to finish that one. What are the chances we could have a finish like that here tonight? That would be incredible. Our biggest mover right now is Michael Spengler in the 69. He's currently running in 10th spot. He's gained 16 positions from the start. He's still got about, 10 more to go to try and win this thing, but don't count him out yet. Out of turn number 4 into the Geico restart zone. Green flag for Zachary Taylor. Dalton Fredericks with a good restart. He'll be side by side with Andrew Mraz down into turn 1. Going to try and hold the fender there coming out of turn 2. That's a rough spot. Mraz tags the wall a little bit. Fredericks with a decent run. He'll have to hold on to it. Fredericks will be in the 3rd position. Looking for lap 98 for the end of stage 2 as Fredericks hit the wall pretty hard. You see the damage on the right side of that race car, especially on the right front fender. We've seen some of these other cars get some damage, a little bit of damage, and after a few laps, they start to drift backwards. So can Dalton Fredericks hold on? Is that damage not bad enough to affect that race car too much? Landon Lacey still back in the 21st position, as you see in front of him side by side, and he can't get through. Wow, to see that. Oh, they almost hit Landon Lacey. Throwing it back to Jeff Bodine. John Tiller throwing it back to Bill Elliott, all 1987. And Dakota Bailey back here. And this number 6, if you couldn't guess, he's throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt. Back when he was in the number 2 car. So a pretty cool Dale Earnhardt throwback for Dakota Bailey. Oh, it's an incident behind. Looked like the 38. And he'll go sideways. Caution out. The 31 gets through right up against the outside wall. And we'll take a look. And the 12 got out of the throttle big time, and he was getting into the wall. And I don't think the 38 had a whole lot of places to go there. He did send it into the corner pretty hot, locked the front wheels up, and hits the 12. The 5 of Stockel, nowhere to go. Those two teammates as they hit nose to nose. Oh, and look at the 31 of Scott Wise just scoot through there. Let's take a look from the in car of the 31 as he scoots through this one. I mean, you got to think that about this point, you're assuming you're going to hit the 38. And the 38 just, somehow gets through there. And Scott Wise drives it right through the gap. Great driving by the 31. So nobody comes down the pit lane. AJ Cruz threw it back to the Gray Ghost. And Dale Jr. threw back to that as well. He's up 19 spots to 14th. He started this race from the pits and almost went a lap. I think he did go a lap down there in the very start. Got his lap back on that first caution by taking a wave around when everyone else pitted. And he's moved all the way up to 14th. So on his way back to the top 10. Or to the top 10 for the first time tonight. AJ Cruz certainly got the speed to get there. This is Gary Wells back to 15th. He finished in the top 10 in stage 1 already. Has dropped 5 positions to get back to 15th. Matthias in 16th. And Jake May has fallen a lap down. Onto the back stretch. Lacey's back up to 18th. Jordan Polly's 19th. Andrew Rousseau, he's moving up through the field. He's up 12 spots to get into that 17th position. Braden Lasser currently in 21st. He's gained 6 spots, so a little bit on the move for Braden Lasser. Some of these other cars have had some bad luck. Nathan Lyon, even though he was involved in that incident, is still on the lead lap, 22nd position. And he'll choose last second to pit, and maybe a little bit too late of a decision. His teammate Scott Stockel barely gets by there. Mike Campeggio, the number 9. This was his throwback to the old Jeff Gordon Flame scheme, a little his own rendition of that. Zachary Taylor will lead us off again. Can Fredericks get good enough a jump to get by Mraz? He almost did it last restart. The end of the Geico restart zone. Green flag. A great jump for Zachary Taylor. This is the mess that Gary Wells and these drivers back in the rear of the field are having to deal with. As they try and move their way up. A lot of shifting going on down into turn number one. Oh, as you see the 51 shoots to the inside. I don't know if he was trying to pit there or what, but the 13 has to avoid him. So Braden with a big avoidance there around the 51 of Cody Bullock. As Mraz has gotten by for the lead. Out of the corner, Mraz got a big jump. They took him 3 wide, and the 16 chose to back out. A smart decision. Zachary Taylor will now move back to the 4th position. And now he's in this scrum, trying to get back to the front. So Andrew Mraz out front, Dalton Fredericks right with him. Oh, as Mraz tags the outside wall, Fredericks still has some damage on the right front. These two wheeling these cars away from the field. Fredericks starting to reel him in slightly. It's hard to be second in line as we've got an incident. 2 of our leaders, Landon Williams and the 16 of Taylor, get involved. Yellow flag, now back out on the speedway. Oh, the 16 rolls up on his side, a hard hit to the inside wall for a car that's been very dominant tonight. And as they were coming out of the corner, Landon Williams hits the outside wall, but I think the 16 was pushing up into him. The 32 was in the wall when the 16 hit him, so I think Taylor was going to hit him regardless, as they were both pushing maybe a little too hard. The 32 of Williams trying to stay ahead of the 16, and the 16 trying to pass. Let's one more time take a quick look at it. We'll look from the inside of the 16 from the cockpit cam. And that left front is destroyed. To see just how much rotation Zach Taylor got there. Oh, it was a 6, and Dakota Bailey also got involved in that. A hard hit for the 6. So everybody down the pit lane. Raz will take it out first. Dalton Fredericks will come out second. Chris Stange with a big move there, up to third position. Kyle Zimmer in fourth. Andrew Rousseau in fifth. Andrew Moore Jr. back up to the sixth position. Seventh is Garrett Fox. Eighth, Roger Matias. Ninth is Joe Torres. 10th now is Landon Lacey as he's trying to move back to the front. The thing for Landon Lacey is he's trying to drive back through the field. Two of his biggest competitors, two drivers that's been top four all night long, just got taken out. That may make it a little bit easier for Lacey to drive a little bit further up through the field. Right now, Andrew Rousseau in the fifth spot has gained 24 positions, and he is on the move into the top five for the first time tonight. The top two got out to a pretty good lead that time. Will anybody else be able to jump up here with them? Mraz and Fredericks will start side by side on the front row. We've seen the driver in third usually gets a good jump and is battling second down into turn one. And right now third is Chris Stange in that 72. He's probably not going to be able to get as big of a jump as we thought because Mraz will choose the outside line. And for the first time tonight, the leader will choose the top lane. Pace car off. Once again, Mraz will be the control car. He is on the outside. Green flag and a big jump. That helped the 25 of Zimmer as he'll be side by side for second, but Fredericks will sit it in there. A good restart for Lacey. He started 10th, already up to 7th. The 25 of Zimmer tagging that outside wall. Stange has to lift. And these drivers are all like sharks. When there's a little bit of blood on the water, they're all going to pounce. Garrett Fox up to 8th. He's made a big move to get up there in battling into the top 10. As we are right at halfway in this race. Fox with a big run to the inside of Lacey. This is the battle for 7th. get there. The 3 of Torres will now take it to the outside, and that door gets shut pretty quick by the 85 of Garrett Fox. Gary Wells up to the 10th position. Right behind him is A.J. Cruz in the 75. We saw him earlier, a lap down. One more spot and he'll crack into the top 10. And there he goes, A.J. Cruz to the inside, top 10 for A.J. Cruz, up 23 positions from the start. '75 knows he's going to get one more caution, one more opportunity to work on this race car, and one more opportunity for these drivers to get bunched back up as he and the 3 almost make contact. Joe Torres, a big wiggle down into turn number 1. Rode it all the way through 2 and out of the exit, and he'll drop back to the 11th spot, but able to hold on to that race car. Mike Campeggio now into this group, trying to reel in the 3. Working that bottom line, everyone else up top. Hard battle right now for the 14th position. Jordan Polley and Michael Spengler battling. As Polley will be able to get by. Right up against that outside wall. Now Spengler looks back to the inside. Caution on the speedway. And the 51 around of Cody Bullock. With that Davey Allison throwback, he'll have to tow. Let's take a look. I think he was just heading into the pits and just dove it right into the inside wall. I think when he hit the inside wall, it just busted both left toe lengths. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Let's take one more look here. And his wheel is not spinning, so I think he's had some sort of issue. Take a look at the steering wheel. It is staying straight up and down, so some sort of equipment failure for Cody Bullock brings out this caution. And he ends up having to tow. Most everyone stays on the racetrack. First car down the pit lane is Roger Matias in that number 1. John Tiller will come down as well. Brayton Laster in the 13. And Nathan Lyon in the 38. All down for service. While we've got time, let's see if we can get a word with Brayton Laster, see what he's got to say. Hey Brayton, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Oh yeah, I do. After that one, I'm a little puckered up, but.
Well, what happened there that's got you puckered up?
Well, I'm coming through the corner, And I hear Cody say, "Watch out!" And knowing Cody, I figured he'd done spun, flipped out of the track, after 5 seconds. All I see is a freaking heat-seeking missile coming right up the track, and of the 51 car. And I lock him up, and I try to get low. I see him start rolling back down the track, and at this point, I'm at maximum pucker capacity, and whew.
Well, you made it through. You pit there. I think you're a little bit off sequence with some better tires. You think you got a shot here to move up and maybe get some stage points?
No, I didn't even pit there. I just went through pit road. I started
okay.
the back, and I just went through pit road. That way I could wave at my crew and all the friends down the pit lane there. They were wanting me to come by and say hi. Although I'm saving the set. We have 4 sets remaining, or so. At least the average people, most of us have about 4 sets remaining. So I'm gonna try to save a set here. Maybe we get 10 to go. Depends how cautions play out. See if we can work some magic here. Right now there's only 19 guys on the lead lap. A couple of them are heavily damaged. I think we got a good shot, top 10 run here, though, at the end of the day. We have no bad luck happen to us.
Yeah, we watched you in the IndyCar series and a lot in this series, just keeping your nose clean and being there at the end. Is that your plan today, as you're running 16th?
I think so. We've finished every race that I've actually started this season. We might have been multiple laps down. I think actually last week at Talladega was the only time I finished multiple laps down, and that was because I popped the motor. But we changed the motor and we got back out there with like 2 to go. So I've taken a checkered flag, and I'm kind of known for being the low and slow guy until the last couple laps, and I kind of push and try to get any positions I can. But if you want to win it, you got to be there at the end to begin with. So.
Well, tell us who you're throwing it back to tonight.
I'm throwing it back to Mr. Scotty Brayton in the 1996 Indy 500 pole setting car. Obviously, with me being named after him, I thought it was a good tribute to Mr. Brayton there.
Absolutely. Well, good luck, and hopefully you'll be up there in the top 5 before it's over with.
That's what we're hoping.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you, Dakota.
There's Brayton Laster in the 15th position. Andrew Mraz chooses that outside line again. Fredericks down on the bottom. That last time we saw the 25, who was in 3rd, get a great restart. Now it's going to be Andrew Moore Jr., who has driven all the way through this field after having some damage early and having to get it fixed. Is now up to the 3rd position. So we'll see if he can benefit from Andrew Mraz choosing the outside line. Green flag. And that battle is for the 3rd position. Moore Jr. as Lacey tries to get to the outside of Zimmer. I think he's going to do it. Lacey right up against that outside wall. No margin of error. As now Lacey finds his way back into the top 5. The first time since that long pit stop. Oh, has he got one big hit to the inside wall. That's AJ Cruz, and the 12 gets hit. Someone else down on the bottom, the 10 of May. There is a parking lot on the back stretch. But no, that one started with the 75. The 72 checked up big time, and the 75 just had nowhere to go. And he'll take a big hit to the inside wall and right back up in front. The 12 did his best to avoid him. He sends him around and directly into the 10, who was trying to get by on the bottom. There was just a lot of nowhere to go on these. The 12 moves up to the outside. 3 cars, the 13 Laster, the 22 Blaney, the 8 of Grills, they all come sliding down to the inside. Let's see who we can take a look from. Let's try and take a look from the 8 of grills and see where this thing started. Sees one sideways up here. Can't see with everything going on, and it's hard to call a multi-car incident like that a racing incident, but golly, I don't know. It really started up front with the 75, and I think the 72. See what it sounds like from the inside of the 72 as he comes off the exit. You see his wheels, he's super tight, trying not to hit that outside wall. He is way off the throttle. As the 75 and carnage all behind him. So a few cars I think will be taking it home after that. Rousseau's still out there. He's 18th. Landon Williams, after some earlier damage, he's in 20th right now. Mraz continues to lead. Dalton Frederickson second. Moore Jr. has moved up to the 3rd position, and Kyle Zimmer into 4th. Landon Lacey's now in the 5th position. Chris Stange is in 6th. Garrett Fox is in 7th position. Quentin Clark up to 8th. 9th is Gary Wells, and 10th is Joe Torres. All through the field, Michael Spengler in 11th. 12th is Jordan Polly. 13th is Roger Matias and Mike Campeggio. Those two fighting for that 13th position. 15th is Brayton Laster. Not a whole lot of damage from that incident. I think he's going to be good to go. And Nathan Line up to the 16th spot. Simon Grills is in 17th. 18th is Andrew Rousseau. He looks like he's got some sort of damage. He's spinning his rear wheels, not going anywhere. So Andrew Rousseau might be out of this one. 19th is Landon Williams, still running. John Tiller is out of this race. Brandon Stower in the pit lane, 21st. AJ Cruz, 22nd. Scott Stockel, 23rd. Jason Blaney, 24th. And rounding out the top 5 is top 25, excuse me, is Scott Wise. And we're getting ready to go back to the green flag. Mraz on the outside. Zimmer with that good spot. If he can get a good restart here with the 4. And Mraz, such a good restart. The 20 of Fredericks trying to reel him in. And we are racing lap 98. We are on lap number 92. 98 will be the end of stage number 2. Basically single file for the top 15. Moore Jr. and Landon Lacey trying to work it out for that 4th spot. Moore Jr. gets a big run out of turn number 4. And he'll come up to the rear bumper of Kyle Zimmer. Garrett Fox up to the 8th spot. Him and Quentin Clark 7th and 8th right now. Christange in 6th. Matthias and Wells side by side. Matthias dives it in. He'll get to the 10th spot. That's the battle for the final stage point. And Matthias with a great run drives right away from Gary Wells and now goes on the hunt for Joe Torres. Three-car battle right here for this 6th position. Garrett Fox looks to the inside, got the nose to the inside of Quentin Clark. Can he make a move off of turn 4? It's just so hard to get down on the inside. He may want to do something quick as these other two are catching him, and now the 85. Garrett Fox up into the outside wall. Torres with a big slip out of turn 4, turn 2. And Matthias will get by. Matthias now up to the 9th position. Quentin Clark with a nose looking. Lacey trying to get the spot for 4th. White flag in stage number 2. Lacey with a big dive to the bottom. Can he make it stick? Moore Jr. fights hard on the outside, but can't hold it as Lacey will get into the 4th spot. Fredericks drives it in hard, but it's not going to be enough. Through turns 3 and 4, Andrew Mraz, as he will come back down the front stretch. He will win stage number 2. Dalton Fredericks will come home in 2nd spot. Kyle Zimmer in 3rd. Landon Lacey comes home in the 4th position. Andrew Moore Jr. in 5th. Christange in the 6th spot. Quentin Clark comes home 7th. Joe Torres 8th. Garrett Fox in 9th. And Gary Wells rounds out the points positions for the top 10 here in stage number 2. We're down to the final 50 laps. And that was an important pass for Landon Lacey. Not only did he get in one more spot, but if Andrew Mraz chooses this outside line like he's been doing, Landon Lacey poised to gain another spot here on the restart. And everyone will come back down the pit lane once again. Here at the end of stage number 2. Fredericks right on that bumper, trying to get somewhat of an advantage on pit lane. Fredericks pulls out, and Mraz will come out front of him. Zimmer will come out 3rd. Lacey in the 4th position. 5th is Andrew Moore. 6th, Quentin Clark. Torres 7th. Fox 8th. Gary Wells 9th. Spengler into the top 10. Stange still in the pit lane. Matthias He has some pit issues, and he drops back to at least 15th. Trying to get some damage repaired. Let's see who's in here. Don't see Mraz in here to talk to. All right, well, Mraz will come home. The winner of that stage, will he choose the inside or outside lane? You've got third place is Kyle Zimmer and Landon Lacey in fourth. And he's basically choosing who to help there in that situation. As Andrew Mraz will make his choice. Right now up on the outside line. Lights off on the pace car. Mraz will choose the outside once again. And right behind him, Landon Lacey. Will this be Landon's opportunity to get back into the battle for the win? A long pit stop earlier in this race dropped him way back. We've got Stockel on the inside. Not sure what's happening there with the 5. As he is a lap down. I'm not sure what's happening with the 5 here. He's going to start from the lead. This is interesting. Race control not stepping in. Green flag. Lacey with a big jump. Lacey will get out into the second position. Quentin Clark with a huge restart as Garrett Fox hard into the outside wall. Moore Jr. has to try and save it. Andrew Moore Jr. does a fantastic job getting that car reeled back in. Will stay inside the top 10 as Garrett Fox now with some right side damage. Will he be able to hold that position in 6th? Quentin Clark had a fantastic restart, moves all the way into the top 3, but now Don Fredericks, who's been the second fastest car basically all night long, is now going to have to drive back through. He and Kyle Zimmer both. As Fredericks gets into the outside wall along with Quentin Clark. Fredericks now back up to the 3rd position as he's trying to reel in Lacey. A big move. Fredericks gaining a lot of ground on corner entry as we're side by side now for 4th. Clark gets by Zimmer. Wills, Clark, and Lacey, who are teammates, have a similar setup, I'm sure. Those two work all week long to have that fastest setup as they can, but neither can really touch Andrew Mraz out front. The laps dwindling away. Landon Lacey now feeling the pressure from Dalton Fredericks. Fredericks, when can he make his move? You see that wheel back and forth. He is wheeling it hard inside of there. You see just how much time that Fredericks makes up on corner entry. Kind of loses some of it in the center. Holds even on corner exit. He and Lacey both. A big wiggles off the corner. Fredericks can't quite get close enough. Torres looking to the inside. Here's the battle for this 8th position. Spengler's got it. Torres in the 3 is in 9th right now. Stage in the 72 in the 10th position as Torres with another bobble just going to let the 72 by. Gary Wells going to try and take advantage of that. Roger Matias in the 13th spot. He's had some good runs. Last week's winner. And he is one of our Dash for Cash drivers. We saw last week the top 4 finishers, which was Landon Lacey, Andrew Rousseau, Roger Matias, and Dalton Fredericks. All get qualified for that Dash for Cash. Right now, Landon Lacey is the leader of that group. Fredericks is in 2nd. So these two battling for the Dash for Cash money. Rousseau involved in an incident earlier. He's back in 22nd, and Matias is in 13th. So this is not only just a battle for position, this is a battle for some money. So close to that outside wall. Lacey starting to put a little distance between himself and Fredericks. The top 3 has run away from the field. A half a second the distance between 1st and 2nd. The battle for 4th, Quentin Clark, Kyle Zimmer, and Andrew Moore Jr. Zimmer in the 25, Clark in the 94. These two have been battling back and forth for a number of laps. Zimmer into the outside wall. Clark with a fantastic run and through the corner, gets to the inside of Zimmer. Zimmer He's going to try and drive back by, but he dives it in too hard and hits the outside wall again. Clark trying to distance himself from this 25. He's trying maybe a little too hard right now. Andrew Moore Jr. going to be right there to pounce in the next couple of laps. Moore Jr. into the 6th position. Garrett Fox kind of back here by himself right now in 7th. Michael Spengler in the 69. He's up 18 positions right now. He is our biggest mover up to the 8th spot. Up 18 spots. That is tremendous to get into that top 10. Gary Wells in 9th. He and Chris Stange battling hard. Matthias has moved into 11th. He's trying to get back into that Dash for Cash conversation. And Matthias now looking to get into the top 10. A big run through the corner. Can he make it stick? Because he's door to door with the 72. Loose on corner exit. Has to check up a little bit to save it. Matthias wheeling that car. Landon Lacey has caught our leader, Andrew Mraz. These two have driven away from the 20 of Fredericks as we're now inside 25 laps to go here in the National Sim Group Throwback Week. Lacey been working on the long runs with this race car. So we've got one, looks like sitting down the inside. That was the 72 of Chris Stange. Green flag still out. Was he hit down on the inside? He was battling with the 1. Oh, the 1 moves up, sends the 72 into the outside wall. And down on the inside, he's trying to get back around, but continues to spin it around down on the inside. No caution. We continue. Green flag. As that car clearly busted. Back to the battle for the lead. Andrew Mraz and Landon Lacey. Lacey may have been held up, sorry, Andrew Mraz may have been held up a little bit by some lap traffic, and that's what's got Lacey right there with him. But these two have driven away from Fredericks. It is a 2-car battle as Mraz sideways, Lacey to the inside. Side by side through 3 and 4. That preferred line, that outside line for Mraz gets a big run, and Lacey can't take the lead. Mraz into the outside wall. He's trying hard to stay in front of the 52. I think this 52 has the better long run car. Sideways again for the 4. This time Mraz drives it in deep. Lacey wheel to wheel. Can he get the run on exit? Door to door out of the corner, across the line. Lacey with a nose out front. Lacey with a deep dive down to the inside. Tries to slide it up, but Mraz sent it in hard. He'll stay side by side. Sideways again on corner exit. The 4 burning these tires up. Lacey making this four drive a lot harder than he wants to, side by side. As we're inside 20 to go, we're still wheel to wheel, a battle for the lead. Lacey almost clear, he gets the wiggle that time. Contact almost made as Mraz takes a little side draft off the 52. And Mraz sends it in deep. Caution on the speedway. This time the 38 and the 51 involved. And that was not what Landon Lacey wanted to see. We know that Mraz is good on the short run on fresh tires, and that's exactly what he's going to have here. Lacey needs to have a good pit stop. Let's take a look at the incident. Oh, as he and the 3 get together, a hard hit to the outside wall. The 38 with a little bit of damage, not too bad, so a minor incident there. But the 51 does go around in the middle of traffic, so caution is warranted. Mraz gets a big jump into pit lane. And Lacey and Fredericks nose to tail. These two are going to come out. They are dead even on the pit stop. Lacey with a little bit quicker. Can he get out first? Second spot for Landon Lacey. He's going to have to drive hard on the restart. Mraz. Whoa, Mraz may have been speeding on the pit lane. And a penalty for Andrew Mraz, our leader. Andrew Mraz with a pit speed penalty. I have a feeling that it was on pit entry. These two were very close. I feel like he sped up a little bit right there, but he was pulling away from Lacey down the pit lane. And that will drop Lacey all the way back to the 13th position. As we are now within 16 laps to go. What a break for Landon Lacey and Dalton Fredericks. You know, these two are going to be battling hard. They battled hard a whole lot. How far up through the field can Mraz get as he continues to fall back as he goes to the tail end of the line? I think he'll end up being behind the lap cars. Lights off on the pace car, and Landon Lacey will choose the outside line. So things just got heated up here as our leader, who's won the second stage, led a lot of this race with a pit road penalty. Andrew Mraz will drop back to 15th position, and he's behind multiple lap cars. The next car in front of him is Brayton Laster, so he'll have to pass 3 or 4 cars before he can even start passing for position. Landon Lacey will inherit the lead. Dalton Fredericks in second as the pace car pulls off. And now this time it'll be on Landon Lacey to bring us into the Geico restart zone. Green flag, we're underway, and a great start for Landon Lacey. He's finished second so many times this year. Can he hold on? 14 laps to go. And another car that's been so fast tonight, the 20 of Dalton Fredericks, gonna put the pressure on, as they're already out to about a 15 car length lead. A block by Lacey. Fredericks sends it into the bottom. Lacey gets a big run around the outside. Can Fredericks make a move here? The battle for third is on. Gary Wells in the 30s. We've got a caution. Quentin Clark goes around. And that car has some right front damage. Let's see what happened to the 94 as he's sending in to the inside of the 7 of Jordan Polly and comes right up the racetrack. And I think it just got tight in the middle of the corner. Maybe sent it in a little too hard. Let's back it up a little bit further. We'll take a cockpit look. I don't know if he thought he was still giving enough room, but yeah, just right up into the wall. And Quentin Clark will now have some damage. That'll move Mraz back into 11th spot, so up 4 positions on that restart. And the battle for the Dash for Cash will be heated up even more because Landon Lacey is one of your Dash for Cash contestants here, along with Dalton Fredericks in second. But behind Gary Wells in the 4th spot, Matthias has finally found his way up into the top 4. Now Roger has a chance to get the money at the end of this thing, but he's going to have to get around both Dalton Fredericks and Landon Lacey. But I think first he's going to have to try and get by the 30 of Gary Wells, who's having a great night tonight, his best run of the season, currently in the 3rd position. And if Lacey chooses this outside line again, then Matthias is going to be there in that preferred position in 4th. In this restart, we could see the top 3 all being Dash for Cash drivers. It's funny how that happens. You know, you got NASCAR, they have the championship 4. Somehow those drivers always end up migrating to the top 4 or 5. And here the Dash for Cash participants all making their way into the top 4 here at the end of this race. The fourth driver is Andrew Rousseau. He is several laps down, 22nd, as he was involved in an incident earlier in this race. So Rousseau going to be out of an opportunity to win that Dash for Cash, but Landon Lacey and Dalton Fredericks both with a shot at it, as well as Matthias, as Lacey will choose the outside line. Fredericks will line up on the bottom, and Matthias will choose the outside behind the 52. Don't count out Matthias. He has been very fast on the short run. I know he's been back in the field, but he's got a shot at this thing. As we come down the back stretch, the field has dwindled down, but our best drivers are still out here. How far can Andrew Mraz drive up through the field? He's going to restart in 11th. This time he's going to be right there with the pack. The National Sim Group Throwback Night at Darlington. 9 laps to go, and we're green one more time. Landon Lacey leads us off. And that was just exactly what Lacey needed, as Matthias and Fredericks will now battle for the second spot. Top 3 all Dash for Cash drivers. And they're out to a big lead. Matthias with a big drive. Nose to tail with Landon Lacey, first and second. Fredericks now with the run, as it looks like we've got one spinning. It's the 85. Caution back on the speedway as he slides back up the racetrack. Left front suspension damage, it looks like, for the 85. We'll see, is that left front spinning? It is not. As he will try and get that car to pit road. No, he'll take it on back around to try and stay on the lead lap. I don't think he realizes just how much damage he's got. You see that left front not spinning at all. And it looks like Mraz may have been involved in that too. Yeah, he just loses it out of the corner. No, Mraz gets by. Oh, he and Torres make contact down into the next corner. The 22 of Blaney sends it in there. And he goes nose to nose pretty hard with the 4. That might damage his engine. I mean, I think the caution was out at some point right here. So you got to wonder why they were fighting so hard down into the corner. And the 22 comes in way late into that one. So big damage for the 4 Mraz. So that will for sure take him out of this race, or at least his competitive chances. As Mraz does stay on the racetrack. As you see, the nose of that car with the 22 of Blaney hit him head on. Your top 5 right now: Landon Lacey, Roger Matias, Dalton Fredericks, Gary Wells, and Simon Grills. And the thing about Fredericks now being in that 3rd position is that Lacey's going to pick the outside, Matias on the inside. That's not going to give an advantage to Fredericks. Gary Wells is going to have the advantage there in the 4th spot. So you wonder how much that Gary Wells is going to push here. How aggressive will he be to try and get into the top 3? And a guy we haven't talked about a whole lot tonight, Simon Grills, with his best run of the season so far, into the top 5. A phenomenal job tonight for that number 8 of Simon Grills. We're going to be down for a green-white checker. This one will be a natural green-white checker, so I don't think this one will count as our first green-white checker. Lacey up on the outside. He's got to hold off the one of Matias for 2 laps. Once again, your Dash for Cash drivers, 3 of them in the top 3 right now. Landon Lacey, Roger Matias, and Dalton Fredericks, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, all racing for the Dash for Cash money at the end of this race. Jim lets us know in the YouTube comments that Braden's back into the top 10. He is. He has cracked back into the top 10. Said he was going to try and keep it clean. But as we go green-white checker, we're going to keep an eye on the leaders. Lacey will bring them down into the restart zone for what may be the final time tonight. Green flag and a good restart for Landon Lacey. He'll get out to a decent lead. Fredericks is going to have to battle with Gary Wells as Wells gets shipped up the racetrack, and Fredericks down below. Matias now on the attack as we're down with a lap and a half remaining. Matias, can he make the move to the inside? A big run. Will he be willing to put the nose to the tail of the 52 of Lacey to get a win here in the Dash for Cash race? White flag is out. It doesn't matter if they wreck now. Landon Lacey out front. Frederick sends it in big. Can he make a move on Matias? If he does, that'll almost secure the win for Lacey. Matias with a decent run as Fredericks hits the outside wall on the exit of 2. Out of turn number 4. For the first time this year, Landon Lacey will win our final race here on the Throttle Up Racing Network. The National Sim Group Throwback Night at Darlington. Landon Lacey comes home your winner. I think he had 4 second-place finishes this season. A phenomenal job all year by Landon Lacey, and tonight he gets it done for the first time this season. I really feel like this will be kind of taking that cap off the jar, and he's going to be letting loose for the rest of the season. Your top 5, Roger Matias in 2nd, Dalton Fredericks 3rd, Gary Wells in 4th, Simon Grills rounds out your top 5. Teammate Quentin Clark there, he finishes in 7th. He comes up to congratulate our winner. Jordan Polley finishes 6th, Campeggio 8th, Brayton Laster comes home 9th, and Michael Spengler will round out your top 10. And burn it down, Landon Lacey, you've earned it. Looks like he's done a burnout or 2 in his day. He's done several burnouts here on the Throttle Up Racing Network. Happy to see him win our final race here with this group. Let's see if we can get a word from our third place finisher, Dalton Fredericks. Hey, Dalton, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, a fantastic run. You were so fast. Lacey gets by you there late, but that restarts when somebody the leader was starting on the outside lane. It was hard for that third place driver to get too much of a run. What more did you need there on that last restart to get a win?
Kind of more luck. I was hoping the front two would race each other a little harder, and we would be in the catbird seat to be able to sneak around and get the win.
Yeah, just a fantastic run. What were your thoughts when you saw the four Mraz? I think he had a pit road penalty, and it puts you, a couple of your other opponents, I think Landon wrecked out early. And, it was just down to you, Lacey Matias. Did you think that seeing Mraz get that speeding penalty helped your chances there at the end?
I think I had a better shot with Landon Lacey there, but still the car didn't have quite enough of what I needed to be able to make any moves.
Well, an overall great run. You got anybody you'd like to thank or any shout outs you'd like to give after your third place finish?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the HSR for the awesome car. The setup was really good. I think we had probably the fastest setup if we could have gotten the lead, but I'd like to thank Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Face Treasures, Drinking Bros Auto Racing. Go check out their page on Facebook. I'd like to thank Hutch Paints for the paint schemes, and also Sim Coach for the awesome pedals. I've been using them for the last couple weeks now, and they've been awesome.
Yeah, let us know who you are throwing back to tonight. Looked like old Tony Stewart scheme.
Yes, sir. You'd be correct. It'd be Tony Stewart. I used to like him and always rooted for him, and so I wanted to run his paint and cherish his name here at Darlington.
Absolutely. Well, the car looked good. Appreciate you. And good luck for the rest of the season, man.
Thank you.
And that was Dalton Fredericks, our third place finisher. Let's get a word with Roger Matias as he comes home second. Hey, Roger, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Hey, it was fun to watch you drive out there. You looked like you were kind of mired back in traffic for most of the night, but there at the end, you get moved up there, restart fourth, a great restart. You drive up to second, and you have a shot at the win there at the end. Being there for that dash for cash, you and Lacey and Fredericks are all in that. What were your thoughts there at the end, and how did you get up to the front after being back around 10th or 15th all night long?
It was a battle. Wrong decision on pitting on my own.
And when did you do that pit stop on your own?
Well, everyone faked it, and I was like, I'll just take on new tires. And I was working my way back up through the field and got caught up in somebody else's little mishap and spun out right before the end of the stage.
Well, what more did you need there at the end to get by Landon?
A minor setup adjustments. It's too tight at the start of the run for me.
Yeah, well, you looked fast. You almost come away with a win. You got any shout-outs or anybody you'd like to thank after the end of this one?
I want to thank Filthy Riot Motorsports, all the guys that helped with the setup, Mraz, Hanley, Landon, all the other guys on the team. Thank you guys for the broadcast.
Absolutely. We appreciate you putting on a show and giving us something exciting to talk about.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too. That was our second place finisher. And now on to the man of the hour, Landon Lacey, your winner. See if we can get a good look at the car here. I think it's going to be about our best look. Hey, Landon, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, a fantastic run. it looked like they're in the middle of the race. I'm not sure what happened, but you had a long pit stop that got you back into the back of the pack. You drive your way back up to the front. How did you get back to the front to be able to battle for the win at the end?
Yeah, they're in the middle of the race. I actually sped on pit road, and I just sat there in my pit stall, so I didn't have to sit there and listen to my spotter tell everybody to pass me. So, just sat on pit road and waited. Came out. Getting through traffic was insane. I was just trying to be as patient as I possibly could be with passing everybody. And then there at the end, racing with Mraz was absolutely insane and a lot of fun. I hate that he got caught speeding on pit road there at the end, but man, in my opinion, I am so glad to finally get a win. I'm so relieved now.
Yeah, there at the end, well, all race long, really, the leader had such an advantage on the restarts. What was your thought process as you had that long run? It looked like you were better on the long run. You were reeled in Mraz, you were battling, and then all of a sudden the caution comes out, and then Mraz gets the speeding penalty, and now you're in the lead. What were your emotions through all that, starting at you racing him there on the long run, then the caution, all that stuff?
I was kind of all over the place. You know, I knew that Dalton Fredericks had a better short run car than I did. I had made some changes on pit road under that last caution, second to last caution, to try to make the car better on the short run. It seemed to be a little bit better, but still not quite as fast as what Dalton had. But that second restart, Roger was able to beat him on the restart and get out ahead of him, and I was able to hold off Roger and come around and take the checkered flag.
Yeah, I think you said that this year you'd had 4 second place finishes. You come home finally with a win, and not only is it a win, but it's a win in a Dash for Cash race. So you come home with a little bit of money too. What are your thoughts there after 4 second place finishes and finally getting a win?
Man, I literally thought I was going to finish second again tonight. I'm not going to lie. I think when the caution came out, I think Mraz had again a better short run car than I did. And I think I was just going to be relegated to second again. And honestly, that was a little heartbreaking when the caution came out. And I don't want to say it was relief when I heard Mraz get the pit road penalty. It was a little bit at the same time. We've formed such a good alliance. I mean, heck, this is 2 weeks in a row now that Riots and Filthy 5 have finished 1-2. And actually, it's the third time this season it's happened. Because you had me and Mueller at Atlanta. Those guys have been really good to us so far this season. I'm really excited for where it's going to go. But I'm so relieved to get this win. You have no idea.
Yeah, I really feel like this is kind of, that first opening the lid, and you're going to win a bunch from here on out. Appreciate you for putting on a show there at the end. You got any shout outs or anybody you'd like to thank at the end of this one, Landon?
Yeah, shout out to all the guys at Filthy 5 Motorsports. Brandon Browning, if you're watching, man, thinking about you. I know you're not feeling well. Hope you get feeling better soon, bud. We missed you out on the racetrack tonight. Thanks to Quentin Clark, Dakota Bailey. Thanks to the guys over at Riot, Andrew Mraz, Roger, Jim Thorndike, Anthony Hanley. I know he doesn't race with us anymore, but he still helps out behind the scenes. So thanks to him. Thank you for doing the broadcast, bud. I'm so honored to win on your last broadcast. I really hate to see that you're leaving us. But I'm so thankful for everything that you've done for us over here. Thank you to the admins for everything they do. And other than that, thank you to everybody that's gotten me here to this point.
Yeah, well, I'm happy you won too. It would have been a shame to call 4 second place finishes and no wins for Landon Lacey. As many wins as I've been able to call for you. So glad I got to call another one, and hopefully I'll get to see you again sometime in the future.
Yes, sir. Hope so.
Absolutely. Have a good one, Landon.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you very much.
And that was Landon Lacey, our winner. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We won't be back with this league next week, but they will continue elsewhere. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll have some more stuff coming forward. We've got a lot of things in the works, so appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. And yeah, we will catch you all on the next one.